with ResTech Studios here, and today we're going to do a quick tutorial on using my master print material in Unreal Engine, and we're going to use World Machine to export the height map for the textures. So as you can see here, I have a very basic map going on. So we're just going to go ahead and we're going to save the raw file. And now what we'll want to do is we're going to, up here on the selector, we're going to base this off of slope is what our textures are going to go off of. So we're going to do three. One of them is going to be rock, dirt, and then grass. So what we need to do is we need to create three more height maps. So I'm just going to copy these, do three of them, connect them up. And we're going to connect this to the output of the erosion. Okay, so the first one's going to be rock. So when we double click on this, you're going to have this slope selector here. Make it a little bit easier to see. Let's go to the 3D view. So we're going to click on our first one, which is going to be slope. So what we want to do is this is going to be, and everything in white is going to be the actual texture. Everything is black. There is no texture going to be applied. So for rock, we're going to just slide all this way, all the way up, and we're going to slide the right bar up right here. So basically what this is saying is that maximum 90 degrees is when the texture is going to start. And then we're going to go all the way down to about 35 degrees right here, that number 35 degrees. So it basically means everything from 35 degree slope to a 90-degree slope is going to be colored in white, which is going to be our rock. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to apply that. We're going to go back to our menu here. So this one is going to be our dirt. So again, we're going to bring this all the way up. And instead of 35 degrees, we're going to go anything that is, let's just go like on a 15-degree slope. So anything between 15 and 90 degrees is going to be dirt. So, and I'll explain kind of why we're going all the way up to 90 degrees with that as well, because what we're doing is we're going to be stacking our layers. So everything kind of seamlessly blends in together. So we're going to actually change this fall off. We're going to exit, put the fall off just a little bit higher to be able to kind of get a nice little blending transition. And then this one right here is going to be our grass. Now, this one, technically, I guess we really don't have to do because our grass layer is going to be our base layer. But what we can do is we can just bring that all the way up. So it's just a completely white map. So what we're going to do is we're going to double click on this. And we're going to click on PNG. And then we're going to save it under tutorial, but we're going to just name this, I'm going to name it rock. And we're going to write, and yes. Same with this one. But what we're going to do is we're going to name this one dirt. Save it as a PNG. And this one right here, we're going to name as grass. And PNG. And we're good to go. Okay, so basically we wrote our raw file for our map, and then here's our three height maps for our textures. Now, obviously, we can add much more, and we can get very, very in depth with this. We can go, mix with a height and a slope. So basically, if you want to only have, let's just say some snow or something like that, that only wants to be a certain height, then you can add different variations up here on the selectors, like height, slope, angles, stuff like that. But we're just going to get the very basic texture map down. So to also just explain quickly about how UE4 works with World Machine, when you were to go up here and create yourself a landscape, you're going to have this overall resolution here. Now, this is based off of your quads, your components, so you can go extremely high, you can go extremely low. But for right now, the free version, I believe, goes up to 513 resolution. So the biggest one that we're going to be able to do right here is we're going to go 505. So this unit right here, 505, is something that we have to make sure is corresponding in our project settings under World Machine, which I have set here. Generally it says 513 here, but you can go click on custom, and then you can write in the exact unit sizes. So Unreal uses a different type of system for its measuring. So you have to make sure that corresponds to your project settings in World Machine. So we set it to 505, we create our maps, and now everything is going to be in correct Unreal sizes. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to our landscape, and then we're going to click on import file. We're going to click on here. This is everything I saved out on our tutorial. So we're going to click on this. So right here, as you can see, scale 100, 100. Generally, sometimes says 100. I set mine kind of default at 30. However, I think we're going to want to set it even lower. So we're going to go to 20. And 505 resolution scale is all good. So we're going to go ahead and import. That's actually a little bit too high still. So what we're going to do is we're going to click here. We're going to click on our landscape. We're going to bring this down to maybe 15. Yeah, it's looking okay. Maybe even a little bit more. Let's go to 10. Yeah, I like 10. Okay, so what we're going to do is now we're going to import our texture. So first thing that we want to do is we're going to click on our landscape, and here you're going to have landscape material. You're going to open up ResTex Studios under tessellated material or non-tessellated, whichever one that you want. We're going to do tessellated this time. So click on your material instance, and we're going to apply the texture. Now, see, the first thing off the bat, what happens is it's all black. Now, I have a lot of people asking me questions about this almost on a daily basis about how come it's always black when I use my own custom terrain. That is because when you import the textures onto your landscape, you need to tell the engine the actual nodes that it's supposed to be using for your layering. So what you want to do is you're going to go up here to landscape, and you're going to click on paint, and then here's all your different layers, but there's no information for these layers yet. It doesn't know what to do with them. So what you want to do is where it says none on all these, you're going to drop down the box and you're going to go dirt layer info. So what it's doing is just telling the engine what is actually going on in this layer. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to click on all these. So the default I have on the setup is going to be dirt. So here's the dirt layer, as you can see. So what we want to do is we want to import our height maps. So within this same menu here, you're going to choose the ones that you want your height maps for. So for Dirt 01, actually, I'm sorry, we're going to start at grass because grass is going to be our base layer. So grass, right here, you're going to right click anywhere on it. You're going to import from file, and you're going to click glass. Now this is what I was kind of saying, that you actually didn't need to create one because it's all white. You could actually just paint the whole thing grass, or whatever your default layer is. But we're going to click on here, and it changes everything to grass right now. So the whole landscape is under grass. And what we're going to do is we're going to create our other layer. So we're going to click on this one, Dirt 01. And I'm going to import from file, and then this is my dirt. So what we want to do is we want to start at the bottom. We're going to work our way up. So we're going to go dirt, and then so that shows us our dirt layer on top of our grass layer. And now, finally, we're going to do our rock layer. So the same thing, import, and click on rock. And then there you go. Now we have our rock layer. So very, very, very simple. Very easy to get. So to kind of give you a little bit more explanation, when I created the dirt layer, remember how I kind of set all the way up to 90 degrees and then I went down to about 15 degrees? That just means that once a 15-degree slope starts to happen, that's what it's telling on that height map, is that 15 degrees is going to start and it's going all the way up to 90 degrees. So the way I do that is that's when I set the rock to a slightly higher than 15. So I went to 35 all the way up to 90 because I'm wanting to stack these layers. So you get this nice transitional blend here where you have your grass as your base. And then as the incremental slope goes up, you have your dirt. And then from there, then you have the rock layer. So again, you can really get very in depth with it. This was a very simple three-step process. You could get into, if you started to get really into World Machine, you can start doing the sediments down the weathering patterns and create the texture maps for that. So there's a lot that you can do. This is just a very basic setup for how to texture with height maps using my master material. And this is the type of result that you can get within literally, I mean, how long has it been? 5, 6 minutes. So I will be making another tutorial on how to do this with World Creator 2 as well. It has a little bit more functionality and you can get a little bit better result very, very quickly with that. So stay tuned. Thanks.